Welcome to AMC's The Walking Dead panel. I don't know about you guys, but I'm psyched to be here. So let's not waste any time and help you welcome to the stage the creative team behind the series, AMC's Senior Vice President of Original Programming, Production, and Digital Content, Joel Stillerman. Makeup and Special Effects Guru, Greg Nicotera. Next guy, he's the creator of the comic book series, Robert Kirkman. Next we've got the executive producer, Gail Ann Hurd. And last but not least, the producer, director, writer, Frank Derrida. Well, Gail, I'm gonna toss you the first question because it's no secret that you've done a lot of comic book adaptations out there. So I'm just curious, kind of how you found The Walking Dead and you know, what appealed to you about it.
I think, like most of us here, The Walking Dead found us. If you're a zombie fan, look no further than The Walking Dead. What Robert Kirkman created is one of the seminal continuing series of our time. As you may know, it's already up. It's up this year for an Eisner for Best Continuing series. You know, and so you go for the best. So we felt, Frank and I felt really honored to be able to collaborate with Robert and to keep him as involved as possible in the series. In fact, the episode that we're shooting right now, 104, Robert wrote.
Now, Frank, we also know you from your film work as well. I'm curious, what appealed to you about doing this as a TV series?
Well, the simple answer is, you know, having walked into House of Mysteries in Burbank and seen this first trade, being the zombie nut that I am, going back to seeing Night of the Living Dead, and yes, thank you. That's George out there. Of course, I snatched it off the shelf, took it home, read it, and it was really the venue to tell a zombie story that I've been looking for. So many zombie movies have been made very well. I really had not seen the point of trying to figure that out. But Robert had done something that was going to be an expanded saga following a group of people, very character-driven stuff, which is the stuff I dig the most. It's sort of right up my alley. I loved the idea of doing something a little bold for television that reaches back into the genre that I love, and but is a very character-based thing, and that's what Robert did that really turned me on. So I right away started concocting this thing in my head. That was what, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, something.
Lost track.
Yeah, me too. It's a long journey.
It all worked out in the end, that's all that's important.
It's because the zombies move slowly.
So Joel, I understand that this series is going to be part of a big kind of fear fest that you guys are doing, correct? You've done it every year?
That's correct. This is year 14, for those of you keeping track.
And then it's also getting a pretty huge release as well, right?
It is. It's actually kind of, unprecedented and exciting news. We're in partnership with Fox on the global launch of The Walking Dead, and it's going to launch in 250 million households, 120 countries, and over 30 languages, almost simultaneously in October. So
So in other words, no matter where you live, you'll see this here.
Yeah, I think the world will know The Walking Dead is out there come October.
All right.
Yeah, no pressure there, huh?
Yeah.
Every language, including Swahili, apparently.
Now, Robert, I was going to ask you how involved you've been with the project, but obviously you're writing an episode, so I assume the answer to that is very.
Very involved. Next question.
I have one. So, ultimately, the images that I've seen are awesome because it looks like they're ripped right out of the comic book panels, you know? How's it feel to see your work finally kind of translated?
Working on The Walking Dead, I never really expected it to be adapted at all. I mean, I didn't really want to do a movie for obvious reasons. You can't do the zombie movie that never ends as a movie because that doesn't make any sense. And as far as television goes, I mean, it always seemed like a tough sell, zombies on TV. But to see it happen, and to see it happen in such a great way with so many excellent people involved, like these guys over here and these guys over here, and to see AMC really get behind it and commit to making a zombie show and doing everything right and pushing the limits as far as what they're going to be showing, which you guys will all see momentarily. It's remarkable. You hear horror stories about adaptations, and every step of the way, along the way, everything has been perfect, and it's really bizarre. I mean, I feel blessed, I guess. I'll say that.
Now, Greg, let's talk about the zombie makeup. What are you doing that? We've seen a lot of zombies out there. We've seen a lot of zombies out there, and so what are you doing that's different with Walking Dead?
Well, Frank and I have been talking about this for 2 or 3 years as well, and just in terms of doing something different. And we really did, we tried to pull visuals directly from the graphic novel as well. The way that the zombies are drawn, there's really specific, that the flesh is shrunken away from the lips. You always see teeth, you always see kind of, the straggly hair and screwed up eyes and stuff like that. So, we really used that as our gauge. We had a zombie school in Atlanta, and we spent 3 days auditioning people. One thing George Romero always said to me back when I worked on Day of the Dead was, if you ever show a group of people how to perform as a zombie, you'll have 50 people doing the exact same thing. So what we did was we lined everybody up against the wall, and then we said, okay, action, and start walking. And we had one guy who didn't move, and one girl who walked out of the room, and a bunch of others, they just did what they wanted. So we sort of picked the faces, and Frank gave me a lot of responsibility in terms of saying, these guys would be great as featured zombies because of the way that they looked, and then we would sort of augment it with prosthetics. But we really went with really thin people because in the graphic novel, they're all sort of emaciated looking. They haven't eaten. I mean, these zombies are basically starving. So when the idea of food shows up, they become pretty ravenous. So, we've really done some fantastic things that I've been really excited about.
Okay, interject to give some credit to the artists on the book, Charlie Adler and Tony.
And actually, Charlie was on set. Are we allowed to say? Are we allowed to tell them?
I think I'd have to ask you if we could, so you can just decide now.
Can we tell them?
Tell them what, that Robert and Charlie are anything?
Yeah, Charlie Adler actually got to be a zombie on set, so you guys can just leave him on the show. I decided it was too sticky, and so I didn't partake.
Plus, you didn't want to shave, so.
So, Gail, I've been hearing a lot of buzz about the 6 episodes. It's being treated more like a 6-hour movie than 6 independent TV episodes. Would you say that's a fair assessment, or?
Well, when you consider the talent that we've got on board with Frank supervising every aspect of the writing, along with Robert in the writer's room, we had Greg Melton as our production designer, Greg Nicotero creating our zombies, terrific people in the cast as well. We're really, you hear every TV series says, oh yeah, really, we're doing 6 one-hour movies. We really are doing 6 one-hour movies.